I think the definition of diversity has evolved over the years. I am a white young woman who attended a small town Minnesota school, class of 200, and all of the diversity, the ethnicity in our school that was not Scandinavian, those students were adopted and raised by white families. And diversity was just very extreme for me. And, moving to the Twin Cities, I find that through the years, we've gone through a lot of diversity types of trainings and trainings with ethnicity in mind in regard to academic standards and achievements. In my classroom, something that I celebrate, I'm really excited about that kind of, thank goodness we've moved to this place where there is so much diversity, you can't even talk about diversity, and you have to think about it in a different way. And the diversity means being different, and that means age, and that means ability, and that means religion and race and socioeconomic classes. Those pieces, I think, have really streamlined how we look as a culture in a sense of ensemble in our classroom and in our schools and communities. It is so important to think about who those kids are that sit in our chairs and to not judge them. And it's so kind of our nature to try to do the best we can, to know them as fast as we can, but really to slow down and take a little extra time for the kids to know each other and for you to know, for me to know the kids, the students. Because what they're like when they walk in the classroom on day one is really not who they are. It's not all encompassing, and that piece of, you never know who the next Bill Gates is. You never know who is sitting in your classroom, what their aptitude is, what their home life is, what they've come from, and just who they are as learners, intrinsic learners. It's just a really good reminder to continue to do that in depth and not just say, oh yeah, I do that, but really, really make some effort in your classroom for your students to get to know each other and for me to get to know my students on a deeper level. Again, I think it's important to teach diversity and not only understand that you are teaching diversity, but to teach it in a way where the students have empathy and support for those around them, whether that is someone that is younger who they need to be looked at as a role model and mentor, or whether they are peers to be good examples and to make good choices with each other, to push each other and challenge each other, whether it's teachers to really understand where those teachers are coming from, and administrators and adults that are in your building, and then above and beyond, and really having connections with our senior citizen community, the value and the knowledge and the journeys that the people in our community have taken and how to tap into that is very, very important. You need all of it to be whole yourself, and you need to be empathetic and excited to learn from those around you, no matter what age and what culture they come from. Again, I was raised that we are part of a melting pot, but now again, diversity is such a celebration. I think that in order to make that perfect whole, we need to have all of our hands involved, and we need to have that outlook of understanding of who we are as individuals and who we get to work with and who we get to learn with on a daily basis, and how that rounds out the mold of our learning, and that creates this great wheel that is consistently spinning and turning and inspiring every day. Regarding diversity, there's a tiny word in the very, very center of this piece, and it's called mind. And I just think that mindset is something that, again, we need to be able to teach that, how you have how you create your mindset with diversity in your life, and how that can be a closed gate or an open window to learning and appreciation, and that mindset is such an important piece to not only teach with, but to be able to teach to your students. I think this quote is great, talking about how it's difficult to learn from people who are just like you, and how much richer of an education and how your life will be impacted so much by other people, and it's your choice to let them in, and again to include that in our lessons of education.